Hello, hello, my dear friends, you've reached Elena's bar. The best place on the internet, the very best by far. She'll help improve your fitness, but there's also so much more. 'Cause here are just a few things that this channel has in store. There's Barre and there's Pilates and there's belly dancing too. And many styles of yoga, so I'm sure there's one for you. Then watch her practice pianist string from right within her home. She's in such big condition, she'll outrun the metronome. Elena's Barre, Elena's Barre. They're the best place on the internet, the very best by far. It's not just the piano, but the ukulele too. The guitar and violin are even more that she can do. She does so many different things, it's hard not to lose track. I nearly didn't mention that she posts on her Substack. Elena's Barre, Elena's Barre. The best place on the internet, the very best by far. Yet controversial topics may be brought up for discussion, but try not to provoke her or she'll swear at you in Russian. And sometimes certain topics can make quite a big impression. So remember, you take part at your own risk and your discretion. Yeah, Elena's Barre, Elena's Barre. The best place on the internet, the very best by far. You might even meet the leader if you're quite a loyal fan. She's got a fixed male cat, but she's so desperate for a man. We've really got it all, then you couldn't ask for more. So sit right back and watch Elena shave a 3 or 4. Elena's Barre, Elena's Barre. The best place on the internet, the very best by far.
Hello, hello, my dear friends. Welcome back to Elena's Barre, low impact full body workouts. I'm today with Steve. How are you doing, Steve?
I'm doing good. Yeah.
Doing good. Okay, guys, we have an interesting topic. I was actually inspired about this topic when I saw one tweet. Well, actually, my husband saw it and then he sent it to me. I just couldn't help myself. I had to make a short about it, but today we are going to dive into this topic. Why do women prefer these international yoga retreats, and why do they, instead of settling down, instead of getting married here with the local guys, why do they go on these retreats? So we are going to dive into this and how these exotic guys are making it as a scam. Really, they are just scamming women. Okay, so we are going to view a couple of articles. We will analyze them, and yeah, then Steve, you tell me what you think about it. And guys, feel free to share your ideas and observations with us. I know we've talked about this topic long time ago with Elena's Barre community, yeah, maybe like 2 years ago when we had Sam, Melody, Emma with us, and maybe even PK was here. So yeah, it's an old topic. It's been circulating, and it's funny how sometimes you start talking about things and then you see people pick them up, the same topics. Maybe they come to the same conclusion elsewhere. And yeah, we are just revisiting this topic today.
But the topics never go away. They never go out of style.
Exactly.
Because have women changed their behavior?
No.
For the yoga gurus? No, it was valid back then. Still valid today. So, you know, topics will keep coming up. And the same topic over and over. Because there's always new people coming in. You address a topic. Then you kind of put it in the back of your mind. It'll come around again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I definitely remember some articles that we were analyzing with Elena's Barre teachers community a long time ago when women were criticizing these popular gurus like Patabi Joyce, who founded Ashtanga, which is actually my favorite yoga style, but I never met that guru in person, so I don't know. But he was accused of touching women inappropriately. And it's funny because women from around the world would go to this magical yoga retreat in India. That's where he was teaching. And then the ones, I think, who maybe, I don't know, were not satisfied with the course, how it went, because there are obviously women who really loved that course, and there are some really popular yoga teachers who first went through the same training with Patabi Joyce, and then they are teaching now to large audiences of people. I've read some articles that were criticizing him, and I'm going to share only maybe one article today, maybe a couple of articles. So yeah, let's get into them, and we will see. Okay, here. Okay, let's start with this one. Okay, this is the website for yoga, actually. And a lady is writing here.
Can you zoom it in a little bit?
Oh gosh, I don't know how to do it. Hold on.
Hold down the control key and use your scroll wheel.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Steve. Can you see it better now?
Oh, yeah, much better.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So she is writing on her first page this message to the beautiful yogis. It's been interesting time in the yoga world. Last weekend, when I was teaching a day in my yoga philosophy training, we got into a great discussion on gurus, inappropriate touching, the state of yoga, and where it's heading. Mm-hmm. It started because we were reading a yoga text called the Hatha Yoga Pradipika. This manual certainly advocates the guru model. You need a devoted guru within a living lineage to ensure you are on the right path in your practice and to unlock the secret codes. But it was also written in medieval India for men and is clearly sexist in a number of ways. Okay, guys. Gosh. Okay, Steve, I don't know if you want to stop it. Feel free to stop it.
Well,
I just found
okay.
Cognitive dissonance in this article.
Okay, first of all, you need a devoted guru. Okay, a master, a powerful man with a living lineage. Okay, he's got to be one of the chosen to ensure you're on the right path. Oh, the woman is on a journey. And the path is part of her journey. So is she on the right journey?
Well, we are about to find out.
And then to unlock the secret codes. Oh, that's Gnostic wisdom. So she's needs her the master she chooses who has credibility on her journey to manifesting.
Pretty much.
I can see why this appeals to women.
Well, keep reading here. This discussion was also right after the publication of the New York Times article titled "Yoga is Finally Facing Consent and Unwanted Touch." Ooh. Link to article. Okay, you can go check this article. As you can imagine, I have a few things to say on these topics. No kidding. Okay, let's keep reading. Over the last year, as the Me Too movement has brought forth so much sexual and criminal misconduct, much has come to light within the yoga world as well. There have been women speaking out for a very long time on a multitude of yoga brands and lineages, but these voices are finally being heard on a large scale. Some men, including yoga teachers, are finally facing the consequences. Sorry, guys. Oh my gosh. Steve, what do you think about this, huh?
Oh, I have a lot to say about it. I don't know if I want to say it yet.
Yeah, well, okay, we can wait. Let's finish the reading here. Here is the truth. Listen carefully. Here is the truth. A huge number of male yoga teachers and gurus have been exploiting their fame and power sexuality. Period.
Okay. Yeah, true. But look at that word, exploiting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, women can rail on and lament about men who manipulate women. And that is the worst thing that a man can do. It's even worse than a man physically using his overpowering a woman or using his stronger muscles to, have his way, whatever. And I'm not talking merely in the sexual way, okay? But if he's manipulating her, oh my, that is terrible. But do women ever complain about other women when women manipulate men?
No.
No, manipulation is their power, and that's justified for them to use against women or against men because he doesn't have the power or the muscles to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But if a man uses if she feels she was manipulated,
yeah.
oh man, he's a bad man.
Well, this is the criticism that PUA could get too, because they just know how female nature works, and then they press certain buttons, right? And then they get certain reaction from women. They kind of know what to expect from women. And then women get mad, that men finally started analyzing female behavior, and they learn from women, from their behavior. And then when men use it against women are like, no, you are not allowed to do that. But I'm okay to manipulate you and everyone else, and even other women.
Right. Yeah. Okay. We agree on that.
Mm-hmm.
Or we agree that the way society looks at it and women look at it. Yeah.
Of course. Well, keep watching here. I don't know the exact percentage, but it's high. So talking about these gurus who manipulate women. Here is a list simply off the top of my head and in no particular order. Patabi Joyce, well, I mentioned him because I've seen quite a few articles about him exploiting women. Then John Friend, Kiram Chaudhry. Okay, and these names I can't really spell. So you can see there is quite a big list here, right? Until fairly recently, women were not even taught yoga. Indra Devi is the first well-known Western woman to teach yoga, and she had to convince Krishna Macharya to teach her. He wouldn't teach a woman due to his Brahmin status. Years later, he predicted that women would be the ones spreading yoga throughout the world. Look around. He was right. Well, I kind of agree here with her that mostly you will see students who are women attending these classes. Yeah, now women make up the majority of students in classes and are currently the majority of teachers in the West. Where does this lead us to? The guru model is dead. Yep, it's quite time to kick it to the curb. I do not mean you don't need a teacher. I do. I mean that the idea of giving up your power to another person who is simply a human being trying to live a spiritual life needs to end. So what does it say about Christianity, where a woman has to submit to her husband and she has to submit to his lead?
Kind of the same old story.
Mm-hmm.
Women want to keep the power. They want to maintain the power. If they're not in charge, they've given up their power.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm not in charge. Do men think this way? No. You know what? I can do what I want as a man, but whatever I do, I'm in a hierarchy. Yeah, another man has authority or more power over me. Am I worried that if I go, you know, participate or work in a job and my boss has authority over me, that I have lost my power?
Yeah.
It doesn't even occur to me. Hey, there's a hierarchy. That's his job. I'm doing my job. Hey, we're good.
Well, even here in yoga, right, where women go and sign up for these courses, they don't actually want to be led. They want to preserve their power and control. It's fascinating. They sign up for these courses themselves voluntarily. Nobody forces them. And
Yep.
yet they find a way to whine, moan, and complain. Never happy, never happy. Well, we don't need a guru, she says here. We don't need a guru. We need the guidance of an experienced teacher and our own discerning participation. The answers are within us, each of us. Okay, what does it tell you, Steve, here? The answers are within us.
Well, common criticism is for all these spiritual women who are trying to find their way and just find it within themselves. It's like pondering your own navel. You're pondering your own belly button. Oh, yes, I've gotten so much enlightenment. And the more they do that, since they're not using anything external to learn anything new, leads to flying up their own asshole.
Yeah. Where would you like a medal to be handed, dear? Which buttocks shall we hand a medal for you? For your enlightenment? And the answers within you. Jeez. The arrogance here. Like we can't learn anything from the outside. Everything is within us. Where does it lead us to? Delusions. They know that they know that they are the best. They can do no wrong because all of the answers are within them, whatever crap they come up with.
Of course, because you know what? She's a goddess.
Yes.
So how can a goddess learn from anything external? They have everything they need. And if there's something that they don't have and they want, well, there's a simple solution to that. All they have to do is manifest it.
Yeah. Steve sent some interesting videos, guys. I think that the guys on the Resurgence of Sanity YouTube channel are going to they're going to have a lot of fun in the upcoming week, right, Steve?
I think it'll be an easy topic.
Yeah, it would be
practical,
a great one.
Something that all men deal with, and yeah, kind of lighthearted.
Yeah, and it's going to be a lot of fun, guys. I watched those videos, and I'm not going to reveal everything, so you need to go watch what they are doing there. But it's going to be a lot of fun. Okay, let's keep reading here. Any good teacher supports the student in becoming empowered. Oh, here is the key phrase, Steve. Empowerment. He or she also doesn't take advantage of the student, but rather helps to build them up. It's a never-ending process, right? The more you give them, the more they expect from you. It's never good enough, no matter how much empowerment they already get. So it's like simping for women even in the yoga community. If you don't pet them the right way, then what will women do? Or they will accuse you, maybe falsely, maybe for real, of sexual harassment, and then you will lose your license to teach.
There's a Bible verse, I don't know where it is, but I think it's Old Testament. Always seeking but never arriving at the fullness of truth. That's kind of like, I'm on a journey. I'm always seeking. But these seeking women who are on a journey, do they ever arrive at anything that makes sense in the real world? When left to their own devices? No, you pretty much have to go to a master, someone else, authority, like in the church. You can't just read the Bible and invent it on your own and arrive at the fullness of truth. To study it, you have to bounce your ideas off other people. You have to read what others who have devoted their entire life to studying this in conjunction and in debate with others. You can't just ponder your navel and arrive at the truth.
Yeah, you need your ideas to be challenged, and you need the direction also of other people, because if you live, and this is what you guys were talking about on Wednesday, the fragment that I was able to catch after my class, where everyone can read now and people are left to their interpretation. And how do you make sense out of this? Yeah, fake human rights here. These women always want to learn something new, but they never can discover the truth. To Timothy. Yeah. Well, this is what Steve just said. So yeah, well, let's keep reading here, guys. It's going to be fun. I'll occasionally check on your comments. Please tell us what you think about this article. If you have some ideas and observations, share them with us, please. Okay, here she writes her personal experience, okay? When I was a student of Ashtanga, the practice never felt right. First series where everyone has to begin when starting Ashtanga yoga never felt right in my body. I love the first series, actually, but again, it's personal preference, guys. As I've mentioned to you, Ashtanga Vinyasa yoga is one of my favorite yoga styles. And then she says here, it has a lot of advanced externally rotating seating poses, and my hips were extremely tight in that rotation. Well, maybe it has something to do with her body, that she didn't have a good experience rather than the actual practice. I would get cranked into those poses and cry my way through them. Afterwards, when my body had cooled down and I would stand up from sitting, my knees felt like they would buckle out from under me. Well,
hey, okay, so for those people who work out, lift weights, if you do your reps in whatever exercise, does it kind of feel like, gee, my muscles are worn out now? I mean, I stressed myself so far that now my body doesn't work right. Basically, you need to recover. Hey, that's the main thing.
Yeah.
You need to test yourself. But then look back to that first sentence. A practice never felt right. So she is assessing truth based on her feelings.
Of course. Yeah. Well, when I first tried Ashtanga, guys, I wasn't a fan of it either. It was a hard practice, and I've been practicing at that point yoga for quite some time. This is why I say that Ashtanga yoga, you have to have some prep done before you practice Ashtanga, and it's not an easy practice, but it's a great one if you really get into it, and after doing it for a while, then yeah. You can find enjoyment in it, but it's not like I don't get the idea when people, they expect fast results. They come and they expect that after just one class, they will be able to do everything. It should be easy for them to do it. And then the moment when something difficult arises, like a challenging pose, instead of challenging themselves and coming back to it and repeating it, because this is how you build up the muscle memory, this is how you build up the consistency in your fitness practice. They just say, like, no, it didn't feel right at the beginning, so I'm not going to try it again. Okay, well, then she talks about knees here. In addition to the poses, the first series not feeling right for my particular body. The practice itself felt draining, depleting, and impossible to maintain. Now, of course, I know why. Okay, for my constitution of Vata Pitta. Okay, now she's bringing here the Ayurvedic aspect of yoga, let's say. It's a very aggravating practice. Of course, she found an excuse now why she can't do this practice. Okay, it's Vata Pitta. We talked about Ayurveda, guys, and the doshas. So Vata and Pitta are the dosha types that all people have certain doshas in their body. You can check it on my website. And you can even take a test and see which one are you, if you're interested. Somehow I had the wisdom to walk away, even though I felt badly about it for a really long time. Okay. She didn't feel like she wanted to practice it, and then she felt so badly for leaving it.
Well, first of all, she's a special snowflake. And it didn't work for me. So I had to walk away. But then I felt bad about it. Okay. Again, about feelings.
Mm-hmm.
And so determining truth by feelings. And then, go down to the next one. The next paragraph. Given there is so much abuse of power in a system where one person has all the power and wisdom, aka the guru. Abuse of power. It's obviously a man who abuses power.
Yeah, right.
And he has all the power, and it's not egalitarian. We're not partners in this because he's above me and he's the guru. And I don't like that he has the power. So what are we to do? A new era led by women. Okay. So we are rebelling against male authority. Now, can that male abuse his authority?
Sure.
It happens on a regular basis, but on a common basis, I mean, with your average man, I don't know about your average guru, but your average man typically doesn't abuse his power. But women will accuse him of that because he's not giving her the power to let her do what she wants. So she rebels against male authority.
Exactly. Yeah. I've had male teachers. All of my yoga teachers, they were male teachers. Well, there were a couple of women there, but it's mostly taught by men, especially if you're taking Indian yoga classes. And none of the guys, as far as I know, I didn't take their classes in person, so I didn't have that kind of experience. But from online, it was pretty safe. Like they just ran their classes, they answered to your questions, and it was well respected and pretty safe environment, actually. But what fascinates me is that women go on these trips. They pay thousands of dollars to go on these yoga retreats to a different country with a different culture. And then what do they expect exactly is going to happen there? Where especially you see women awakening their sexual energies, working on their kundalini, And I'm not saying that Kundalini practice is bad. I actually know a person who can teach Kundalini quite well because she really loves it. And she's a great Kundalini instructor. But at the same time, when you go and practice this kind of practice in this exotic country, surrounded by these guys, and then it's usually mostly women from all over the world, and only a couple of male gurus. What do you think exactly is going to happen there when you are all awakening your sexual energies?
Oh, better question is, what do the women want to happen there?
Mm-hmm. Why do they go there? Because if they were just for the knowledge from the guys, like online classes, they could be enough. Like I signed up for online classes, I've learned a lot, and yeah, now I'm teaching it. I was taught by the Indians, but I didn't have to go there to have like
Elena,
experience.
okay, would you agree that female nature is at work here? Okay, are you familiar with the term con, non-con?
I think you've mentioned it before, but it would be good if you reviewed it.
Okay. It's short for consensual non-consent.
Mm-hmm.
Which seems like, how can you consent to non-consent? Well, it's actually quite simple. You can go way back. Let's just say, let's start at the Christian. You get married to a man. Man gives his body to you. Woman gives her body to him. Her body now belongs to him. His body belongs to her. Okay, so theoretically, whenever he wants sex, she's already given her consent, even if she doesn't want it in the moment. Oh, this is scary. Well, the other part of the scripture says, if he loves her, basically, you treat the other as you would yourself. So you're not going to be overly nasty. You treat her as you would treat your body. So there's checks and balances here. Oh, now let's go to women's fantasies.
Oh.
Okay, is it common for a woman to fantasize about being ravished? Oh, the man is just so enthralled with her. He just has to have her. But he asserts himself and uses his power over her without getting her in the moment agreement, because that's just would destroy the mood. But in the back of her mind, she has consented to his, call it overpowerment, as long as he doesn't violate and go too far with what she has in mind. So she's consenting to not consenting in the moment and feeling the power, but yet being in control, but not having anything happen that she doesn't want to do. And, guess what? In the process of this, he is not accountable for anything that happens because he didn't give her consent in the moment. But he did get what she wanted to happen to her without being accountable for it. So you can see that after the fact, if she regrets anything, she can easily say, well, I was overpowered and I didn't consent to that. Therefore, it's his fault.
Yeah, right.
So, this is a complex thing. But don't we see the consensual non-consent in this article? Because she's talking about a man touching her in an unwelcome way. Well, the women who go to these retreats want to be touched in the way they want to be touched without the guru asking permission to touch them in that way. But they don't want to be touched in the way they don't want to be touched if they really don't want to be touched that way. But they don't want to be accountable for that. And then after the fact, they can say he went too far. So
Yeah.
does that make any sense, Elena?
Yeah. I'm having trouble with this because they voluntarily go on these retreats. They kind of give consent to whatever happens there. It's based on their consent, right? And then when something doesn't turn out the way that they expect, they're not being touched the right way. I think that it's because it's mostly single women who do these retreats, and because they are not being touched in their own country. And I'm not just talking about US. There are a lot of women coming from Europe to these retreats too. So there are a lot of single desperate women who want to go on these retreats. Maybe they want that kind of attention from men, and of course men give women like what they want because women pay them the money, right? This is why like we call it a grift, right? I mean, like there is supply, right? And there is demand. If there is demand, there will be supply for it. So if women are obsessed with this, like, okay, they refuse sex to the local guys. Okay, local guys are not allowed to touch them. It will only work, that short video that I made, if you are Indian. Okay, you must be exotic, guys. You must be exotic. And then if you call yourself a guru and you start a popular yoga school, then women will pay you to touch them.
Okay, what is this unwanted touch? Is it sexual touch? Or could it mean anything? Is this unwanted touch? He goes up there and he gropes her between the legs. Goes up to her and he squeezes her boobs. Oh, that's unwanted. Or could it be he's just touching her body, touching her shoulders, guiding her into the position, helping her leg go to where it should be, putting his hands on her thighs, whatever, molding her body into the proper position. Or even at the end of it, now this is a Western thing, giving her a hug and saying you did great. Was the hug welcome or unwelcome? I don't know. Did she consent to him moving her body and crafting it into the proper position? Oh, maybe that's unwanted. We don't even know what the unwanted touch was. And it's probably not as explicit as she's implying. But on the other hand, if she wanted the explicit touch and he wasn't giving it, or he wanted this much, but not exactly. That much,
you get mad. Yeah.
Okay, it's all based on her feelings. Yes. We don't know how she feels about the touch, because men can't read women's minds.
Yeah.
How far do you want me to go before it's too far? Well, you know what? It's the man's job. The way relationships work, dating works, the man has to pursue and push things, and then he has to be perceptive when she says, okay, that's far enough. I mean, is there any other way it can work? Now, maybe I'm being a bit explicit here, but if the man is too timid and he never advances, he's not going to be attracted to him.
Of course.
So the man has to push against her mental boundaries, whatever, to find out where the boundary is.
I saw a post on Twitter, guys, and I'm going to share it with you at the end so you can see where it's inappropriate touch. But okay, women are still in those positions. They are tolerating this touch, even inappropriate touch. And then after the fact, they can say, oh, but he assaulted us. Oh, where is the sisterhood? Where is that Me Too movement? Okay, yes, I'm going to accuse him of this inappropriate touch when she was perfectly fine during the practice. She didn't say no to him during that practice session.
Right.
You agreed to the practice, right? When he was touching, while he was touching you, why didn't you say anything? You were fine back then.
You know what? you have to draw the line someplace.
Mhm.
So here's a simple place to draw the line. As long as he did not sexually assault her in a penetrative way
Yeah.
and her clothes stayed on and she signed up for the course, no matter what the touch was, he was never truly in any danger. Therefore, you know what? Forget about what her accusations are. You
Mhm.
have to have a hard and fast boundary limitation that's covered by law, common sense, yes or no. And the yes or no cannot be how she felt in her mind.
Exactly.
That's just completely arbitrary. And how can you have any justice system when everything is based on a woman's feelings, how she felt? I don't fucking know how she felt.
She
And
was
there's no
fine.
way I can
And
know.
look, if she's quiet and silent during the practice, she doesn't say or show any signs of, like she doesn't want it, and she doesn't actually kick him or say like, no, you can't do it, right? During that practice, and okay, she was fine. But then we will read another article where I think it was written by another woman, where she was describing that a lot of these yoga gurus, they actually had sex with their students. So yeah, but was it again wanted sex that the girls undressed themselves and like they wanted to get fucked actually, or was it forced? Of course, women will accuse men after the fact that they already had sex, and we see it happening here too. It's not just unique to the yoga community, where a woman would consent to having sex, and then the moment she doesn't feel great, she will accuse a man of raping her.
Well, especially if here's one case. She's a married woman. She goes on one of these retreats and something happens. And now it comes out that something happened. Oh, now she's in trouble. So how does she get out of trouble? Well, I didn't want it. He just forced himself on me.
Mm-hmm.
Now, okay. Are accusations like that common? So the woman does not have to take accountability for something she actively participated in at the time?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's quite common.
so true. Well, let's get back to this article where she empowers women. It's up to us to be discerning teachers and students. We must require integrity from ourselves and those we study from. Teachers must be held to high standards of integrity. See how she puts all of the accountability on the teachers and nothing on the students, as if like students are these special snowflakes that can do no wrong. Honesty and transparency, and students need to trust themselves foremost. Mhm. Students must ask that their teachers never undermine them, diminish their capabilities, or attempt to disempower them. Sounds familiar, right, Steve?
Yeah.
If you experience this inner teacher, walk away. Trust yourself. Don't be afraid to question teachers and methodologies. Not every approach is right for every student. Yoga is not a one path system. There are many paths to the same destination.
Oh,
Many
your
paths.
truth is different than my truth.
Mhm. Yeah.
Oh, the
Oh,
next
oh,
paragraph.
oh, do you want to read it?
Stories of teachers shaming students in public class abound, particularly from Mr.
Younger.
Iyengar,
Mhm.
who is known to hit his students. Okay, well, yeah, see, women don't want to be shamed. He made her feel shamed. That's bad.
Mhm.
Oh, and known to hit his students. What does that even mean? I mean,
I
does
like
that mean
physical force.
touch? Does that mean, I
Yeah.
mean, you can, if you poke your finger, or if a man, okay, not to another woman, but if you hit them gently in the arm, or, a slight, I don't know what's acceptable here, but a slight, tap on the face like that, wake up. Oh,
Mhm.
that's hitting. Is that abusive? I don't know. What's their culture? I mean, I have to behave here in American culture, but this is okay. What did anything he do violate a law? Not a law here. If you're in India, you're on Indian law. If
Exactly.
it did not violate the law, shut up about it. Because you
Mhm.
went over there and consented. And if you didn't know what you were getting into, that's your problem and no one else's.
I 100% agree with you, Steve. Yeah, they go and they try to bring their culture, their legal system abroad, and it doesn't work. Ladies, it doesn't work. You go there, you need to do more research. It's on you. The lack of knowledge doesn't relieve you from responsibility and accountability if you didn't know that something was okay in that culture and you expected something else. Okay. And you know what? In terms of hitting, I actually was hit by my piano teacher, my second piano teacher. She kind of pushed me, and I fell off the chair, and then I had a bruise. She didn't intend to hit me, but I still fell off the chair. And it was a tall chair, like piano chair, when I was playing. And she wanted me to lead with the elbow, and I didn't put the leg on time to support myself, so I fell down from the chair. She did apologize after that. She didn't.
Well, I mean,
But
things happen.
things happen. Exactly.
And sometimes bodily contact works to get someone's attention,
Yeah.
break them out of their stupor.
Mm-hmm.
A slight slap like that on the cheek. Hey, wake up here. Pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
Is that cruel? Can you imagine doing that to your kid? Male or female? They're being a little bit insolent and talking back and all that, and you just go, hey, I'm not putting up with that. It's that little shock,
Yeah, shock. Yeah.
and it wakes them out of it. Okay, did it hurt them? Did it harm them?
Well, maybe because it was
No.
unexpected, like they didn't expect it. And then
Right. Did they welcome it? No.
they're not supposed
But
to.
but you know what? We have gotten so sensitive
Mm-hmm.
about some of these things.
Yeah.
And then the way it's described in a dramatic way,
Mm-hmm.
we don't even know what it means. So, since we don't know what it means, this accusation is actually meaningless.
Yeah. Well, she goes on and on about how horrible it is. Don't be afraid to question teachers and their methodologies. Yeah, okay, here. Stories of teachers shaming students in public classes abound. This is what you were reading, right?
Yeah.
I have seen it in current teachers, both male and female, and make no bones about it. That kind of behavior in a teacher is not acceptable.
Oh, you know what? One of the only checks on a woman's behavior is being shamed.
Mm-hmm.
So, if a woman feels a little bit of shame, is the shame caused by what you did to cause that feeling, or what she did previously to feel shame about?
Mm.
Oh, and Elena is all about shaming whores.
Well, my teachers, they shamed me when I was growing up, and like they would actually say some things in public also among other peers. It's a great motivator, actually. If you look at it from the educational standpoint, the competitiveness among people, I think that we are lacking it today in our society, because we teach everyone, and everyone is so special and unique. All of the people are these special snowflakes. And then when everyone is special and unique, nobody is special and unique. So the desire to compete and do better and achieve something, it just goes away. It kills all of the incentive for people to even try, especially when you are teaching.
Yeah.
I've noticed it when I was teaching Spanish to students, that every time I praised one person because of the excellent job that he or she did in class, I could see how the other students were motivated by that. Especially when you give them like something like stars or whatever, like they value. It's a great motivating factor. And then when you publicly humiliate somebody because he didn't do his job, I don't see any problem with that, because this is how I was taught in school. If I did something wrong, my teachers would kick me out of the classroom for misbehavior. Where is it now? Where is this discipline that has been taught to children? It's gone, because we are being taught by these special snowflakes who say no touch, no hurting my feelings, no disciplining me, because I know best what's right for me. I'm a goddess.
Yep.
Yeah, and then she says, I don't care how knowledgeable or experienced the yoga teacher is, it doesn't excuse SL behavior. So she assigned this kind of we don't know, maybe like disciplinary behavior as an SL behavior. So how can you discipline kids? How can you discipline anyone, women even, when it's ascribed as SL behavior?
Oh, but she's escalating it here.
Mm-hmm.
Not excuse asshole behavior. Oh, okay. So I'm an asshole.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, now what's the next thing? Abuse is never okay. So that's escalating it from he's an asshole
To abuser.
to he's abuser.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's catastrophizing the thinking. Okay, he publicly shamed and was known to hit. Oh, we don't even know what that means. So he's an asshole. And now we're escalating it to abuse. And now it's escalating it to he's a bad man.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, but it's all based on her feelings.
Oh, and then she says here, unfortunately, that's what the guru model allows for. The teachers do no wrong. Oh, okay. So she praises herself here because she is apparently a yoga teacher, okay, as far as we know. But then the guru, it's way above her, and then she disqualifies the guru because they are abusive. Did you see what she did there?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. What do you think, ladies? Okay, here, last question. What do you think, ladies? It's time to take ownership of the new era of yoga. I think it is, and here is why. One, we are the ones that will move the culture, the business, the spiritual practice in a more positive and inclusive direction. Everyone, right? Including everyone. And two, we already are the majority. Oh, here you go, guys. Here you go. We are the majority of teachers and the majority of students. So they basically, yoga used to be, if you look into history, yoga used to be only trained by men for men. Women were not participating in yoga practice historically. And then what happened when they introduced yoga into the Western cultures? Oh, women overpowered it. They over-dominated it. I even see it in the yoga classes at the gym. Sometimes I attend other yoga instructors classes, and it's mostly women. There are no male instructors. You might find a couple, but see, like, do you think that after a bunch of women write these kinds of articles, men will have the incentive to even teach women anything?
I don't know. It's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
Men will just do what men do. I'm just gonna do my own thing. If you want to come, come. If you don't want to come, don't come. I don't give a shit. But here's okay, this last paragraph.
Read it.
Oh, what do you think, ladies? It's time to take ownership of this. Is it time to take ownership of this new era of yoga? Oh, okay, she's appealing to Team Woman.
Yes.
Oh, I think it is. Oh, follow me, women. Let's form a group and accomplish something. Kind of like feminism comes to yoga.
Exactly.
And then,
Feminism
oh,
is everywhere.
we're going to be inclusive. Oh, and we are in the majority. Okay, fine. Go ahead. And then, we are the majority of teachers and the majority of students. Okay, so, the majority rules. Okay, go ahead. Let's not be afraid to question and demand that all yoga teachers involve into more love, truth, wisdom, clarity, transparency, integrity, compassion, honesty, all these squishy things. Now, I got to ask you this. Okay. Are there numerous or multiple schools of yoga?
Yes. Tons
Okay.
of them.
Okay. So were virtually all of these different schools of yoga founded by different men?
There are a few.
Okay. So let's say I'm a yoga guru. I've been practicing yoga for 25, 30 years, studied it. I've lived it. Now I have a new insight into my approach to it. So I'm going to form a new school of yoga and teach that to others.
Yeah.
As a man, do I go to the yoga community and ask permission and say, I think you guys are all doing it wrong. I want all of you students to come and follow me and empower me to do the own thing. And we're going to have this touchy-feely thing over here. No, he doesn't go to others to ask permission. He just does his thing. And you know what? There are two outcomes to doing his thing: success or failure. Some succeed, some don't. But he wants to rally the female troops. Oh, let's empower all of us, sing kumbaya, and go do our own thing.
Well, this is kind of what yoga has become. And this is the reason why I stopped attending the yoga training courses, because they have become over-dominated by women mostly. And what do women teach? And I'm not saying that like all female yoga instructors are bad. You might actually find a couple, but if they teach anatomy aspect, like safety aspect of it, then I would say they are good yoga instructors. Instead of focusing on this kumbaya, like let's do the vibrations and vibes, positive thinking, all of this manifesting bullshit. But those are so few, they're just so few women who can even do that.
So does yoga, study of yoga, learning it, doing it right, does it require discipline?
Yes, it does.
How many women can teach discipline?
I don't know. A few, maybe. I want to give them the benefit of doubt.
Okay, well,
a couple.
Give them the benefit of the doubt. On a percentage basis, if you go to a female yoga instructor, is she going to be able to teach discipline? Do most of them be able to do that, or less than half?
Oh, less than half for sure.
Okay, so
maybe out of all of them there will be like one girl, I would say. It's very small percentage still.
So if discipline is critical to yoga success, women in general, most of the time, cannot really teach discipline. and hold you accountable to, do the difficult things. Yeah, there's a little bit of pain involved and perseverance and all that. If they're not good at that, but they're all good at, we just love you the way you are. You're doing your own best, just, here's a hug. Okay, well, gee, I tell you what, you women go ahead and try and take over the guru leadership of the yoga community.
Well, it used to be that yoga
It's
was,
not gonna-
it's interesting that you mentioned it. It used to be that yoga was taught by athletically healthy people. I don't want to say like skinny people, but people in a great physical shape. Okay. And now we see everyone is welcomed, right? And you look in the Yoga Alliance and all of these alliances for fitness instructors, and women create more of them, and then they overpower, overdominate them. If there are a couple of guys, they're usually simps or like so effeminate that they don't even behave like men anymore. They do this woo-woo crazy type of thinking that you can change your reality based on your vibrations and how hard you believe it. If you believe it enough, you will see it. It will happen to you. So basically manifesting crap. And you see how women they remove all of the guys who could be strong leaders, who could be great teachers actually, and they just don't teach. Or they teach somewhere at the gym, like nobody really knows about them, and usually the classes are pretty crowded. I remember one guy, he was teaching yoga and his classes always were filled up, not at this gym, but elsewhere where we were living. And then another gym, they are out there, they are teaching yoga, but they are always teaching it from different aspects, not like women, let's just sit and you embrace yourself, love yourself, all of that additional crap that women add to the practice to make it feel good. Men don't do it. It's just like, okay, it's anatomy, it's technique, it's based on the physical aspect of it, But a lot of men today, I've noticed, that they are tilting towards female thinking. And this is sad. This is actually frustrating because it's not their original type of yoga, that we see today.
Yeah, and we're going to see more of that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because as younger people are raised without the father influence, immersed in the mother's mother routine, and emotions are important and feelings are the most important and all that, they just don't have any example of a man saying, no. You just not no. I don't care how you feel about that. The answer is no.
Yeah.
So they have no experience of that, which that experience gives boundaries. It develops fortitude. Without that, you're always concerned about pleasing, being nice and pleasing the other and not offending other people. That's the way women do it.
Yeah.
You know what? A man needs to stand on his principles. He's not consciously seeking to offend the other, but no, I'm not gonna lie just to save your feelings. Don't give a shit. Truth is truth, and you're gonna have to deal with your own feelings. And no, if you do that, you might feel good now, but that's gonna harm you. So the answer is no.
No, yeah. Discipline, Steve. It requires discipline to say no to yourself and to say no to others even. And how many yoga teachers today have self-discipline? Like, what the excuse I've heard so many times, especially teaching at the gym, watching other instructors, I don't feel like teaching today, so I'll cancel my class. And it doesn't just apply to the gym, like online classes. Look, if I didn't have self-discipline, I wouldn't have been so consistent with my fitness practice, with the daily fitness practice that I'm publishing, and you guys can join me if you want to. But a lot of people, they give up because they realize how difficult it is to have self-discipline and to stay.
Oh, too much passion from Elena. Her camera got overheated and dropped out.
Yeah, Emma. Okay, by the way, guys, you remember I mentioned the Kundalini instructor. We have her here, Emma, with us. Also, Guru Starlight. If you check Anita's series, she's writing here. Guru Starlight has integrity. She'll only take advantage of your students naively via their wallets. Exactly. Yeah, she will tell you what you want to hear for your money. Ladies, and this is what you are paying for. You're paying for someone to tell you, to pat your back and tell you, oh, you are awesome. You are so great. You can do no wrong. Okay, there is
You know,
another...
your video never did come back up.
Oh, it didn't?
No, not yet.
Which video are you talking about?
I can't see your face.
Seriously? I can see myself.
Oh, well.
You guys
I
can
know.
see me? Put one in the chat. Maybe it's just Steve who can't see me. Please put one in the chat if you can see me.
Yeah, it's not. You just have a white screen below. Oh, there. No, you're just not there. Your image isn't there. Just your voice.
Really? Okay. No, can't see you. Okay. Oh, wow. Oh, what happened, guys? Okay, Steve, I'll have to leave you for a second. If you want to respond to this comment for Reflect too, is it the monetary system that subdues the subconscious because we all need support to survive, and so it compels everyone to separate and be at odds with another for notoriety? Did I spell it right?
Notoriety.
Notoriety. Mm-hmm. Can you answer to this question while I'm reload,
okay.
guys? I'll disappear for a second.
Is it the monetary system that subdues the subconscious? A pursuit of money? I don't know. I mean, I don't even identify with this question. I think we act according to our nature. Men and women act according to our nature and what's important. And that drives how we behave. And then people make excuses for what they want and how they behave and don't really want to take accountability if it turns out bad. Have you noticed that when you have a discussion with a woman, okay, this is, I'll just say it from a man's perspective, and you ask her a question, let's say it's kind of a heated or debate type of discussion, not the full-blown argument, but you ask her a question, and her mind goes, okay, can I answer this question? Where's he going with this? If I say yes, was it going to get me into trouble? If I say no, am I going to be lying? They have to go through all these mental gyrations before they can answer the question. But since they can't come to a positive conclusion, or I don't know where he's going with this, they will avoid answering the question because it might make them look bad. Because all the time in a discussion, the man's trying to use logic. Okay, we're in disagreement here. Let me put on my logic hat and let me just go through this slowly, and we'll develop what we're going to do logically. And I'll ask questions. If she can agree with this, then we'll bring it to the next stage. And, she can have her input, and I can understand how her brain is working, and we'll see how it works logically, and we'll reach consensus. We don't have to be adversarial, but since she doesn't know where it's going, she might not prevail. Good luck getting a straight answer from her. Is it? And that's human nature. Because she's afraid that if she answers wrong, then you'll make fun of her. She'll feel shame, and she'll be wrong and be accountable. That's not good. So what do you think, Elena?
Sorry, Steve, I was a little distracted with my camera here, like a monkey with it. I kind of
Okay.
You were talking about discipline, right?
No.
No. I had to readjust some cables, guys. I think this is what happened. It was slightly disconnected.
I was talking about how women don't like to give a straight answer to a question.
Oh, like deflecting.
Yeah, because she
Yeah.
doesn't know what his motive is, and she might look bad, and if she answers in a certain way, it might lead to her admitting something and then having to feel shame.
Mhm.
So let's avoid the question, or ask him a question to redefine it. Or in the process of asking the question, your mind races ahead to what the question is going to be. So no, I'll jump in the middle and finish the sentence for him, so he can't ask that question. It's
Yeah,
quite
they
amazing.
usually
And
try
it's very frustrating for men.
to redirect. Yeah, they every time they feel attacked by the question, then they don't want to answer to it. They ask a question to change man's mind onto something else. I notice this technique is being used a lot, especially when you look the big shows and then you see how women behave, and then how they don't want to answer to the questions. Oh, they you know what really it makes me so angry. Like, men ask women direct questions, and then instead of answering to these questions like yes or no, or as honest as they possibly can, right? They say like, but why is this relevant? Why does it matter to you so much? Oh, who hurt you? Who hurt you? There must be somebody who hurt you, that you hate all women and you ask them this nasty question. I'm like, lady, don't do this kind of crap. It doesn't work. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yeah, that's really difficult to get a yes or no
Mm-hmm.
out of. Oh, it's difficult to get it out of a woman. A lot of times it's also difficult to get a straight yes or no out of a man.
Yeah.
So it's not exclusive female behavior.
Yeah. Men do it too. And the more men try to appease to women, the more they behave like women. They start thinking like women.
Are we going to do the second article?
Well, it's very close to the one. Let me show it to you, and then you'll decide, okay, if you want to get into it. It's a very...
Okay, I'll be back in about 20 seconds.
Yeah, this article just shows the crimes that men have committed in the yoga, when teaching yoga. It's more in depth. I can show it to you guys so you can read it by yourselves, and this way we don't have to spend too much time on it. Okay, so hold on here. Okay, here is the other article. I'll try to zoom it for you. So this is how it's called. Yoga reconsiders the role of the guru in the age of Me Too. It's from the New Yorker. So you can read it. Let me try to zoom it here. I'm doing something else. Okay, hold on. Control. Steve said control. Okay. Here. Okay, and then it says last week on Instagram, Sharath Joyce, a grandson of Patabi Joyce, the hugely influential founder of Ashtanga Yoga, which has millions of followers worldwide, finally responded to several years' worth of claims of sexual misconduct against his grandfather. See, even his grandson, he. Well, anyway, okay. Who died in 2009 at the age of 93. So Patabi Joyce is no longer with us. Since 2010, more than a dozen former students have come forward to accuse Guruji, as his followers called him, of sexually assaulting them in his yoga studio in India. Okay, and during workshops while he was on tour in the United States. The allegations include that he rubbed his genitals against their pelvises, or while they were in extreme back bends, lay on top of them while they were prostrate on the floor, and inserted his fingers into their vaginas, an action that fellow students excused as an adjustment to their mula bandhas. Emma knows what it's talking about here. The chakras. The body's lowest chakra, which lies between the genitals and the anus. After his grandfather's death, Sharath became the director of the Sri K. Patabi Joyce Ashtanga Yoga Institute and the Param Guru of Ashtanga. It brings me immense pain that I also witness him giving improper adjustments. I'm sorry it caused pain for any of his students. After all these years, I still feel pain from my grandfather's actions.
Wait a minute.
This is his grandson who admitted.
Maybe he just had their best interest in mind. Is it kind to let a woman just go about her life with a maladjusted mula bandhas? I mean, how else are you going to set it right?
Emma, are you still here?
I'm poking fun at it.
I know.
But, sometimes laughter is the best medicine.
I know. Genital adjustments. Yeah, guys, if you read this article, it explains in more detail what we talked about. Like here, you actually see the specific examples of what they've been accused of. So, yeah, geez. Okay, and then his grandson says, like, "Oh, I feel ashamed for what my grandfather did." No. See, like with admitting the shame for his grandfather, he assumes the female frame. He's trying to. He's still benefiting, obviously, from his father's grandfather's institute, right? The Ashtanga practice that he can teach now because it's a lineage, right? It's
So
but
any
yet,
of these, got a question for you. Did any of these female students specifically travel to this yoga retreat for genital adjustments?
I don't know that they would phrase it that way in terms of marketing.
No, I know they wouldn't.
It's kind of implied. Emma, would you like to join us? Let me share a link because I was going to do it because I was asking if you're still here. And okay, let me share a link. Guys, feel free to call in, okay? Okay, she says, a lot of this type thing through, though, is abuse of power of the guru being put in that position and feeling uncomfortable to speak. Cult mentality, unfortunately. Yeah, it definitely applies,
Oh yeah, I absolutely agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there is abuse of power.
Yeah.
And it happens. But you know what? Ladies, if you don't want to put yourself in danger, don't walk down that dark alley behind the biker bar at 1 a.m.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? I'm sad something bad happened to you, but do your research, decide what you want to do, and yeah, okay, something bad happens. Yes, we'll go after them, but don't put yourself in danger.
Yeah. Well, Emma joined us. Great to see you, girl.
Hey,
It's
Emma.
been a long
Been a while.
time.
Hello, sorry, that was on the hop then.
So, what are your thoughts on this, Emma?
I'm going to remove the article.
I mean, the type of ones you're talking about, I've watched a lot of podcasts because I watch a lot of ex-cult podcasts.
Yeah.
And so some of them are from the yoga cults. And yes, I mean, they go there all starry-eyed and full of wonder and wanting to learn. But then I suppose as they get further in and then they're invited to be close to the guru, and they're looking at that as a place of privilege, that they're chosen and all that. And it's not necessarily sexual to begin with. Obviously, that comes as they go in, but then they're put in, like I said in my comment, then they end up in a position and they can't speak out because obviously you're questioning the teacher and he's the big I am.
Yeah, here's the authority, right? And then it's another extreme. It's just we are trying to define the line here of like how much of it is women doing it to themselves versus men, because like look, a lot of men, they realize that there are consequences to this kind of behavior if they abuse their power, right? Eventually they will lose trust and people won't sign up for their courses. So it has to be done, like if they're doing it, it has to be done in some kind of moderation, right? But yeah, it's an interesting topic, guys. I wanted to share with you, like you can go back to this article. We're not going to spend much time on it, like talking about how else they abuse their power. You can go read it. I can share the link with you in the chat. Hold on, let me do it. So you can go and finish reading it. While here, we are going to see one post and I want to see what you think, guys, okay? Let me share it with you because my husband shared that post with me. Can you see it or shall I zoom it? Hold on.
I'll be able to when I put my glasses on.
Oh, 1 second. I'm going to zoom it.
I'm in with you.
So this is the okay, slim white women with too much time and money, still one of the best scams for a man to build a lucrative harem based on business.
Yep.
And watch here, you can see, right?
Yeah.
I hope YouTube doesn't ban us for doing this, but it's a public.
I think I would be quite uncomfortable in that position.
Well, exactly. But see, Emma, they are tolerating it. Like they are still in this position. If they didn't like anything that was happening there,
and he knows exactly what he's doing there.
Exactly.
Is it malicious? Maybe.
Sneaky, I think, is
maybe not. Maybe it's just him. I don't know. I cannot know his motivations. He's maybe just helping them to put.
As a teacher, there is
them
no
in the right
reason
position
for you to have your hands
in the
U.S.
position. In the U.S., yes, but it's a cultural thing.
Maybe it's okay in India, and like, look, I've seen.
I don't know.
I'm sure that's not acceptable anywhere.
Well, Emma, but they are okay.
You cannot say that. It's a cultural thing. It's what's in that community. Yes, it's absolutely inappropriate in the U.S. and the U.K. according to the way we look at things. Yeah, absolutely. Elsewhere, is it against the law wherever this happened? If it's not against the law, sorry, it's not a crime. It can still be inappropriate, but it's not a crime. If it's not a crime, it's not abusive.
And they are sitting in those positions. Look, if they didn't like it, or if something went off, like they would come out of this pose and they would maybe kick him, or like say, no, don't do it. I'm not comfortable in this position with you touching me like that.
Their hands are right there. They could bat him away.
Exactly. Like what they all it takes, like unwrap yourself and kick him into the, wherever you feel like you want to kick him, right? Whatever is there. If you are that uncomfortable.
Okay, let's assume this is it's crossing the boundary. Okay, let's assume that it is, and his intent is bad. So what is to prevent her from rolling back, rolling up her mat, and walking out the door?
Yeah.
Now, is there any long-term mental consequences to her? I mean, did anything bad happen? Not real. Was there any long-term harm or hurt that was caused here? Not really. Yes, something bad happened. You were wearing pants. You were not actually violated. There was nothing that... This is not a life-ending thing. And don't turn it into a major event. Oh, I have trauma. I was touched inappropriate. Get over it and move on with your life. You know what? I don't want women sexually assaulted. But does this rise to the level that it's going to be a life-changing event? Mm-hmm. No, maybe it's a lesson. Don't do this kind of shit if you're sensitive to it and you don't want it. You shouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be the guy out there protecting a woman from feeling bad about some kind of touch that happened for a conscious choice she made to do. Okay, this is not the end of the world. Look at men you sign up for the military. That's horrendous. Yeah, there's a lot of hazing and abuse and just absolute shitty circumstances. Are we worried about having mental dysfunctional men, mental trauma for the crap that men sometimes are put through? No, it's life. Mm-hmm. So some of this stuff is just life. If you didn't like it, don't do it again.
Yeah. Because essentially they sign up for it, Emma. They go voluntarily. Nobody forces them. It's like it could be part of the training, and it's like, okay, she didn't like it, but nothing would stop her to leave that room, like Steve said, if she didn't feel comfortable with it. It's just they're trying to blame it on men after the fact. Like a woman would have sex with a man, and then they would say, "Oh, but he abused me. He raped me." And then, okay, well, how can I sue him for doing what I actually at that moment didn't mind of doing, but now I changed my mind because my feelings got hurt. So yeah. Okay, Reflect 2 is asking us a question. Would it be a good idea to assert to others to not touch under any condition up front so that the other would understand?
Yes, but probably with those kind of teachers, they would probably ignore that, and because that's their style of teaching is hands-on. Mm-hmm. So if you turned up and were like, I'd rather you didn't give me any hands-on adjustments, they'd probably be like tough.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I will say absolutely not. I think this is an old English adage. My ex-wife taught this to me. Teach people to wear shoes and not cover the world in leather. Okay, if people are so sensitive, they're wearing bare feet. We need to cover the whole world in leather so their feet don't get bruised. Mm-hmm. Whereas the world is a rocky, adverse place and it's going to hurt your feet. So learn to wear shoes. Put the leather under your feet. Take responsibility for what can happen in the nasty world out there. And don't expect the world to conform to your sensibilities. Don't put yourself in bad situations and then complain.
Yeah,
don't go to that class. Go to something else. Maybe it could be the whole industry is corrupt and you don't want any part of it. Well, you know what? That's fine. If you're going to do something, you have to be able to handle what risks there are.
Yeah.
And if it didn't kill you, it made you stronger. And if you're inappropriately touched, okay, life is not always to your liking. Get over it and move on. I mean, I am absolutely against abuse of women. But you women who say, oh, I was inappropriately touched, you are trivializing the real abuse that other women have. And it's like crying wolf. And pretty soon men are indifferent because women are crying abuse over everything that, you know what? I can't even know whether it's real.
Yeah. And then the men stop trusting even those women who were actually abused because of that, like sisterhood, crying wolf.
Crying victim. I mean, how many women cry victim? And how many men just get, oh, there's another woman crying victim. Yeah, I investigated, or it happened to me, and I know she wasn't a victim. I saw that happen to my buddy. Yeah, you know, she was just making up a narrative. And so, you know what? I cannot decide the true victims from the fake victims. So, sorry, women,
usually
you're on your own.
when women are truly the victims of the abuse, they refuse to talk about it, and then they wouldn't mention it publicly anyway. You can go watch the movie called Lie to Me, where they were actually showing a few episodes where like a woman was actually abused and then she didn't want to talk about it. And yeah, it's like no matter how pressured they are, it's painful. It's too painful for them to talk about it, and they wouldn't want it circulating around the public sphere. They usually are not they don't want to be, even if they are public figures, they don't want to talk about it because it's such a disgusting experience that they've had, and then they just like no. But those who claim, who cry wolves, who speak the loudest, they are most likely faking it, you know. So yeah, interesting show today, guys. Okay, reflect to here. Enjoy YouTube and Elena's training style. She's very good. Oh, thank you.
Yes, she is.
Well, Emma, I actually miss your classes. So when are we going to get back to them? You know.
Okay, I want to just say something to Reflector too. Yeah, you might not agree with my views. Okay, that's good. I just hope to challenge you, give you something to think about. And, you know, we all need our views challenged from time to time to test it. And I'm not telling you what to think. You're certainly welcome to have a different opinion than I do. Maybe my opinion is too harsh, but it is mine, so I'll just own it.
Oh, I often disagree with Emma too. This is what I love about her. She doesn't take it personally, unlike some women who are like, you know.
we all think differently, and we all have our different views. And if you listen to other people's views, if they differ to you, you might, you know, see a different perspective or see something you didn't think of before. And you know, and hopefully the other way around.
It's good learning. Yeah, you can learn from the opposite views. This is why, like, women would learn so much more if they did less of the answers are within me, but go more external and find out, listening to somebody who opposes them and challenges them. I think this would be really, really good and beneficial, not just for women, but for men too. Yeah. Well, anyway, guys, it was fun. I really enjoyed having you. Thank you, Emma, for showing up. It's
Right,
great.
thank you for inviting me.
Oh, do you have time now on Saturdays, or was it just the exception?
Not every Saturday, but I can keep you posted on that.
Yes, please do. Please do. And if you say hi, I will bring you up, okay? I'll
Okay.
send you the invitation so you can join us. It's always fun.
You just happened to pop up that you're about to go live, and I saw what the topic was about. So I thought,
Oh, yoga. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Emma, tell us a little bit about Kundalini. Oh, there was one Nausley. Oh gosh, I forgot. Do I spell it right? Somebody asked me a while ago if I teach that, and I told them no, but I can ask somebody who might know.
I'm not quite. I have started doing yoga again, but I'm doing really easy classes. So yeah, I'm not back up to full strength yet on my shoulder.
Oh, yeah. Emma recently had a shoulder surgery, guys. So she's getting back to yoga, but slowly. And hopefully we will add more classes. So she was taking a break.
Yeah, when I'm back up to strength, I'm up for it.
Yeah, good, because I really miss our workouts, and I will add them back to our schedule, guys. You can check more community classes on my YouTube with Emma and with Melody, and also with PK. You can go deep back into our prior practice and community classes. They are a lot of fun. So yeah. Well, it was great to see you, Emma. Thank you, Steve, so much. So Steve won't be here with us next week, right? You will be doing other things.
But I'm going on vacation.
Where are you going?
What's that?
Where are you going? Anywhere nice?
Florida.
Oh, nice.
Flying into Tampa. Going with the guy I'm living with. Renting a room in his house. But yeah, we're going to go down to the Keys.
Oh, amazing.
So yeah, it's going to be quite culturally different down there than this.
Imagine warmer as well.
Yeah, a lot warmer. Yeah, it's not been too bad up here in North Dakota. Yeah, I think it's gotten down to like 10, 15 below zero Fahrenheit, which I suppose is like minus 20, minus 25 C. Not too bad yet.
Yeah, we're moaning about -5 at the moment, so.
Oh, cold.
Yeah.
The wind is so cold there in the UK. It's just, I think it's the ocean proximity to the water, that gives you.
Yeah, that's high humidity.
High humidity.
And cool.
Oh.
Whereas when it gets really cold here, it's actually dry.
Yeah, so it's better.
So the temperature isn't bad, but when you get the wind, because remember, we're flat here. We get the wind and the cold, and that's bad.
Oh,
we don't have the humidity with the cold.
Yeah. Well, humidity is the worst because it gets into your bones. I remember I was living in Spain for a few years and in Barcelona on the water technically. And it was so humid in there. And oh my goodness, I had to wear, like a very thick winter jackets all the time with the head covered. Like my fingers were frozen all the time. There was never snow there. But it was so humid and like the cold will get into your bones, like from within. It was just horrible. And they didn't have.
I think you're describing the UK in the winter.
I think she's got Spain and the UK mixed up. Yeah.
Well, Spain was cold too. I'm telling you, Barcelona in winter, no joke. And the houses, the walls are so thin. In these old houses, the beautiful houses, they don't hold the heat inside the house very well. So I definitely felt really cold in there. Okay, Reflector 2 says, great stream, thank you all. Well, thank you for coming, thank you for joining us today, guys. I really enjoyed your questions. Tell us what you think about this topic. I know it's a controversial topic in the comments. We would love to see what you think, guys. And as always, remember to please like, share, and subscribe, and join the Resurgence of Sanity on Wednesdays at 5:45 p.m. Pacific. Let me share with you the schedule. Okay, guys are always talking about very interesting topics. I always learn a lot from them. Okay, so here is our schedule. See, Steve, I changed it only for Wednesdays now.
Okay.
At 5:45 p.m. Pacific. And then we have workouts from Mondays to Fridays and Sundays at 9:15 a.m. Pacific. Then we have deep dive conversations like this one, where we explore some topics. And if you have suggestions, let us know in the comments. If you'd like us to dive into specific topics, leave a comment, okay? And then join me for my crazy piano practice on Sunday at 11:15 a.m. Pacific. Cool. Okay, I think we are done here. Any final thoughts?
Oh, it's fun to have these discussions when there's a little bit of controversy and
Yeah, I agree.
differences. And I can kind of push the envelope and make people think, but yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, I agree.
We like to explore things.
I love debating people, and especially if they disagree. So guys, if you disagree with us, tell us why and where. And if you'd like to debate a certain topic, just reach out. Okay, you can always send an email to elenasby@gmail.com. Keep it relevant, please. No marketing emails, please. And I know, right? I keep getting them. I made that post where I said, like, guys, I'm not interested in marketing services. I know that my SEO sucks for the YouTube, and I don't care. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Well, anyway, guys, if you'd like to debate us, if you'd like to debate the Resurgence of Sanity, guys, reach out. Okay. You can reach out to me. I will forward your email to them. Okay. So, yeah. Well, let's wrap it up. Thank you so much for joining us. Please like, share, and subscribe. It helps a lot. Leave a comment, and we'll see you all next time. Okay. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone, and take care. Bye.
Bye.
Elena's Barre, Elena's Barre, the best place on the internet, the very best by far.